Hello everyone, Justin here again, and today I want to spend some time talking with you a little bit about change. It's Saturday morning and I've got a busy day, but I want to take some time to talk with you a little bit about managing change in our lives. And change can be difficult. Change is difficult for all of us from time to time. We get accustomed to the way things are, we believe that what we're doing is the right thing, but sometimes the circumstances and the situations in our lives cause us to need to think differently about what we're doing. And the same is true in business. Great River Energy is East Central Energy's wholesale power provider. And they have a significantly large power plant called Coal Creek Station located in North Dakota. And that power plant has been active for 40 years plus, and it is a great power plant, has provided a lot of energy to the 28 distribution cooperatives served by Great River Energy. However, the time has come for Great River Energy to make a change, and that change includes either closing that power plant or potentially selling that power plant. And so Great River Energy is on our behalf working to make the best decision possible regarding that power plant. And so that's caused some consternation for some people. There's been concerns about whether or not that's the right thing to do, to close that plant. There's a lot of jobs at stake, and if those jobs are lost, it will be a sad thing for the area. However, GRE does have a fiduciary responsibility to the membership of East Central Energy, and so they're working to make sure that they honor that and that they do right by us. Similarly, in my life, there's been changes that have had to be made, and my wife and I have lived in 3 houses since we've been married. The first was a small house in town. The second was our dream home, or to be our dream home, and we built it about 8 miles east of Pine City. And it was a beautiful home, and we were very happy with it, but circumstances changed as they do. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that change and how it impacted my family, as well as about Great River Energy and their decision to divest of the ownership of Coal Creek Station. So please come with me and check it out, and we will we'll have some fun and talk along the way. So it's been brought to my attention that my dog Hannah may actually be the star of this whole vlog situation. And so I'm gonna have her come along, and she's gonna ride with us as we talk about these topics that we have in mind. Come on, what up? So this house behind me here is the first house my wife and I ever lived in. We bought that house in 2002, so I was 24 years old at the time. Probably had no business even buying a house like this, but it was a wonderful house. It served us well, and when we bought it, we didn't have any plans of doing anything else. It really was our future. And Great River Energy, for many years now, has operated Coal Creek Station, Spirit Wood Station, with the intention of running them for the entire life of the plant. And now things have changed. The markets have changed. They've had new decisions to make. And similarly, my wife and I had 2 kids at the time, and we were planning on having more, and this is only a 2-bedroom house. So she and I were in one room, the 2 kids were in the other room, and we decided it was time to do something different. And so that's how change happens, right? We're forced into a new kind of dynamic, a new paradigm, and we move forward. And so Great River Energy is making that decision based on the way that the world is changing, the way that markets have changed, and frankly, the way that the power plant is struggling to perform economically in the world today. And so they're making those changes just like I made the change and made the decision to build a house for my family in 2006. So like I was saying, in 2006, my wife and I made the decision to build a new house. I was 28 years old and had more time than money, and so I chose to build the house myself, and it was an undertaking. I had the help of family and friends, a few contractors along the way, and we got started. And that house today is still there, and it's about 8 miles east of town, out of town. And so those of you who have kids in sports and activities know the logistics of having a house 8 miles out of town, but we had young kids and we didn't understand that. And so we made that decision. We built that house, and I want to drive out there today to show you where it is and give you some context on what happened. So right behind me here in the woods is the house that my wife and I built. And building that house was easily one of the hardest things I ever did. It was a great change for us. It was something we really wanted to do, and we thought we were going to live there forever. We built that house with main floor living. We had planned to stay there forever. We set up the laundry room on the main floor. Everything was ready for us to be there for the duration. But things changed. Our kids grew up. They started to become involved in activities, and so we had to make a change. It wasn't something we had planned to do when we built the house, or we never would have done it. But the move was required. It was something that needed to be done, and so you make those changes when you need to make them. You do what you need to do as the circumstances change, as the economics change, and that's what Great River Energy is doing as well. Great River Energy is making a decision to close or sell Coal Creek Station based on the economics of the power plant. And I'm going to talk with you a little bit more about the reality of what that means after I get into somewhere a little bit warmer, because it's cold out here. So Hannah and I made it home safely. We were able to visit our first house that my wife and I lived in, and where we had our first 2 children. And we actually still own that house. My wife does daycare, and so she has the daycare in that home, so it's not in the house that we live in. And then we went to my second house, which was really our dream home at the time, something we thought that would really fulfill our needs forever, and things changed. And that's really what the purpose of this video is to talk about the fact that things change. Sometimes it's beyond our control, sometimes it's within our control, but the things that we want, the things that we need to do, change. And so for Great River Energy, that change was really about changing their power supply mix, responding to what the members need, and responding to the environment that they operate in. And so they're making decisions based on what's best for East Central Energy and the rest of the distribution cooperatives that they serve. Now, Coal Creek Station represents 1,100 megawatts of power, and that's a big number, hard to understand. To give you some context, ECE peaks at about 160, 180 megawatts, but on average, on an average day, we're around 100 to 110 megawatts. So Coal Creek Station could, on average, serve about 10 systems the size of the ECE, and so it's very large. But in the grand scheme of things, in the MISO market, it really only represents about 1% of the total capacity of the market. And so, will it cause reliability issues? Will we be like California, where we have problems going down the road? And I have to say to that, no. Coal Creek Station alone does not represent enough of the overall power supply mix to move the needle when it closes or when it goes offline. And so I don't think we need to be afraid about reliability issues related to this. I don't think we need to be concerned. I know that Great River Energy is looking out for our best interests, and the power supply mix of Great River Energy is really shaped around a very diverse portfolio of power supply assets, and the MISO market is very attentive to what's going on in other parts of the country, and they want to make sure that what we have here really is reliable, is affordable, and has a good mix of resources, so it's less subject to market fluctuations. So with that said, I hope that as change comes in your life, which it will, you remain flexible, willing to absorb new information, willing to learn new things, and willing to make changes that really do serve your best interests as a person, as a family, as a community, and hopefully as a society. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a great weekend, but I wanted to take a moment to just share with you some of those things that are happening and give you some context of why change isn't always a bad thing. In fact, most times we come out better than we thought we would. Have a great one.